everyone, this is Tracy Newman from The Navigator's Tarot, which you can find me on Facebook and on Instagram as The Navigator's Tarot. You can also find me as Sleepy Wisdom on YouTube. And so without further ado, we shall move into the feminine reading for the week. See what the feminine energies are bringing us all this week. I'm getting unconditional love, absolute unconditional love for everything and all that is. And a real sense of stillness and peace and solitude as well for the feminine. And understanding that unconditional love comes from within and encompasses all. 8 of Air. So in the past, especially in the last few weeks, the feminine has felt very trapped by circumstances, but also by her own confusion as to exactly where it is that she's going, and having to sort of deal with any sort of wounds that have come up for her. There's been a lot of confusion for the feminine in a lot of ways, but since the solar eclipse, there's been a shift. So and a shift forward as we move into the fortunes wheel here. Always upwards and onwards for the feminine. So the 8 of Air is about being trapped, as I've said, but we're coming into the fortunes wheel here, which is movement forward and upwards. And aligning, I'm getting, with truth of who she really is. Of course, that is an ongoing thing for all of us, but it's literally about truth, following your soul path, and through unconditional love. Recognizing that, everything is about understanding, acceptance, and acknowledgement that everything is perfect as it is, and everything needs to be observed on that level, and then from there being able to move into truth. More cards. I seem to be losing my cards a lot today. Anyway, here we go. I'll just do those again. Oh, we have the Hanged Man. So yes, I think at the moment too, there's a lot of waiting energy, waiting to start the soul path, even though the feminine understands exactly where she is and knows what needs to happen to move forward. There is still this Hangman energy. It's not yet time to proceed. There's so much chaos within and without, especially with the masculine understanding, and also too with the outer world at the moment. And which also represents everything that is in turmoil within. So there's this Hangman energy, but it is able to, we're able to sort of like go within, find any remaining wounds that need to be healed, and to heal them very quickly. Because then what happens is that then places us into alignment with all that is, and also to the truth of who we really are and where we're actually heading in our world. We also have here, I've seen this card that many times, I've never noticed that there is a little seahorse here. That seahorse, of course, seahorses represent purity, I think. So she's getting very pure in her actions too. She's getting very pure in who she is and how she's moving forward. She's actually becoming it's not a strategy that she's using. It's more understanding the energies that she is a part of and allowing those energies to move her forward. Becoming a part of that and becoming a part of all that is, and being one with all that is, so that she's able to move from that source energy So she's now connected to source. Whereas in the last few weeks, it's been quite discombobulating, a little bit, out of sorts, a little bit chaotic, a little bit confusing, and not really sure about, exactly where she was going, what she was doing, kind of getting stuck in a rut a little bit. But then over this last couple of days or so, there's been a shift and an understanding of having to move forward into our soul path. But at the moment, with the Hanged Man energy, it is not yet time. So it comes down to divine timing for a lot of us. But it is going to happen, no matter what. Our soul path is being, is being aligned for us as we speak. 10 of water, so moving into absolute unconditional love for self and others, becoming the Buddha in our own lives. The King of water, love, absolute unconditional love for oneself and others, and actually noticing the small things, actually noticing the beautiful things that we already have in our lives and being grateful for that. Even just sitting there and listening to the birds and understanding that they are just a part of us as well. And what we actually really begin to hone in and notice is what will then manifest into our lives. And that's why with all the turmoil that is actually going on, a lot of the feminines now are being asked to remove ourselves from that. And to go within. And I think for the feminine, it is literally a no-brainer. We are already doing that, and we're understanding that that all change, real change, comes from within, from excavating deep wounds and releasing them, so that we can then move forward into a lovely state of bliss and awareness for unconditional love for everybody. And we have the Ace of Air and love. So that is a beginning of a new state of being, but the new state of being is love. And we have the Ace of Water, the Queen of Earth. So grounding that love within, so that we can then project that out into our outer world as well. And the star, hope in the midst of difficulties. And that is what the feminine represents at this time. And also to coming into our heart centers and moving from there and actioning that love from the heart center. Okay, so that's the feminine. It's a little bit confusing, but it's kind of like that's how it's been for the feminine, I think, for the last few weeks. But we're moving into a different state now, where we're going to be able to move from unconditional love into something far greater and more beautiful than we could ever imagine. Okay, so if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe, and I shall see you on. Bye for now.